Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are building a fairy house with no enchanted by nature. I want to try this out because I've been thinking about getting enchanted by nature because I think everything looks so pretty in the world. But honestly, I don't know if I want to pay another $40 for another pack. And so I also wanted to ask myself, do I really make enough cottages in my builds, in my worlds, to justify the purchase of Enchanted by Nature? And to be honest, I don't think I do. So I wanted to give it a shot of building a cute little fairy house and see if I really enjoy doing this, or if I don't enjoy doing this, then maybe it wouldn't be worth it to buy Enchanted by Nature. I do have cottage living, which helped a lot with this build. And I have a lot of other several packs and expansion packs like kits and stuff like that that really help this house look like a fairy house. But personally, I don't know that I would buy Enchanted by Nature anytime soon, just because I don't think it's the style that I like to build in. I think I personally like to build more in modern styles or more traditional home styles rather than cottages. I really get really lazy with the like the trees and the shrubs and all of that stuff, because at the end I just don't want to think about that. So I like the simplicity of a modern house where you can just, put a couple of trees and be done with it. And when it comes to cottages, I think you have to put a lot of greenery to make it look more homey and more realistic to the world that you're building in. And that's something that I actually did off screen for this video, but I will show you guys the end result. Here I started with a shell that I put together off screen, and then we have like a two-story house on this side. On the right hand side we have a two-story house, and then the left hand side it's just the one-story space. I wanted to include this little window from not Enchanted by Nature, Cottage Living, with the little butterfly at the top. I think that's super cute. And I wanted to keep this color story of like purple and yellows. I also found these windows from Realm of Magic, with the yellow flowers that match really well with the yellow of the butterfly. So as you can see, I was really struggling to find the layout for the entrance here. For some reason, I always forget to put like a little awning in front of the door, and I feel like I'm gonna start doing that more in my builds. I do see a lot of simmers do that, like they just put like a little roof as you enter so you have some shade. And that's also like more realistic. I feel like you do see that in houses, but I always forget to do that whenever I'm doing my builds. I was trying to figure out how to put the stairs in here, and I was struggling with like how to move them around and stuff like that. But I ended up figuring it out, and I really wanted to put them like as you walk into the house. You can see here it's becoming a big old mess with the vines that I put outside, but this is what I end up doing here. I do have some like dead space, I would say, here in the entryway with those little squares, but I just end up leaving them like that because the house is pretty big as is, so I think it should be fine even if we have those spaces. And as we step into the house, I was playing around with the layout of what I had in mind. And so we're gonna have like a little entryway hallway. The bedroom is gonna be down here, and upstairs we're gonna have like a quote-unquote apothecary station, but it's gonna be more like an artist studio because I don't have the apothecary skill in the game, obviously. So it's just gonna be like a more artistic place where the quote-unquote fairy can come and play. This is in the gallery if you guys want to download it. I believe it should be up already. I also wanted to put another door to the outside. That's also something that I forget when it comes to building houses. And I'm starting to look more at floor plans whenever I'm building houses, because I forget sometimes like essential things, like maybe I won't put a public restroom for the guests or something. And I just put one in the bedroom. And so I want to start looking more at like realistic houses. But in this house, I did not forget to include a door to the outside because we do have a big patio and I am gonna decorate it as well, and I'll show you guys what that ends up looking like. I really wanted this space to be a little shabby. You can see I'm using this wallpaper from Love Struck that's like this broken down like stucco, and I think it looks great in here. I mean, you can actually picture like a fairy having this sort of wallpaper. And I also wanted to have a lot of clutter. I can see maybe like a fairy being a collector of things like art or vases and stuff like that. So I wanted this place to be like very collector-like and very lively. Here in the entryway, I decided to put this clock from Strangerville because I don't know, it just gave me like fairy vibes. And then I put this little shelf that I believe is from Cottage Living in this like periwinkle wood. It's giving like white, blue wood. I don't know, it was weird color. And then I put this little figurine that's from Life and Death. It's so cute. And then over on this side, I just wanted to put some more frames as you go up the stairs. I saw this thing, I think this is from Life and Death or from Love Struck, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna put this throughout the entire house, and I completely forgot to do that in the rest of the house, and I just put it right here in the entrance. So I think it still looks cute as you exit the house. I think you can look at it. And then we have this little hallway where it leads to the main bathroom for the guests and then to the bedroom, and it also leads to what's going to be the kitchen. So this space right here in the middle is where we're going to have our kitchen with these cabinets from Cottage Living in this darker blue. I really like this dark blue. I don't think I use this color very often. And then I decided to use this stove that is from that pack that I always forget, with the witches and stuff like that. And then, oh, it's Realm of Magic. I always forget, you guys. And then I also used this little shelf from Cottage Living with some more clutter. I used this sink that I believe is from Base Game, and the shelves on the right hand side I believe are from, I actually don't know what pack those are from. Might be Snowy Escape, probably. I have no idea. Yeah, I also decided to make this kitchen very cluttered, and I used those like stains that come in some of the packs to make it look even more dirty, because I feel like the walls should be dirty, you know, like, I don't know, I feel like this fairy has lived a long time, and this is what they just like collect things. And so not that the fairy is dirty herself, but you know, the walls can collect dirt from like the stove and stuff like that. So I wanted, here you can see I started to add those dirty patches on the wall, which honestly makes it look a little bit more realistic, and I sort of love it. A lot of these come from For Rent, which is a great pack for that. And then I decided to put a little rug here in the kitchen and also another one in the entryway. On top of the fridge, I wanted to put more stuff. I always forget that you can like just raise things up with 9 and put them on the fridge, and I think they look really cute. So that's what I put here in the kitchen. I think I go back and switch the light because I don't think I liked it that much. Like the light just, it's not warm enough, if that makes sense. So over on this side, it's where I decided to put like a little dining table. Honestly, this is giving me like restaurant vibes for some reason, but I think it's fine. I also wanted to make a gallery wall. I wanted to have a lot of art for this fairy as well, not only because they're artists, but also just because, again, if they are a collector, then it makes sense that they would collect things from their travels or just thrifted stuff, if that's even a thing in The Sims 4. So you're gonna see me here play around with a lot of different frames from a lot of different packs to make it look cute. And yeah, you guys, let me know what you guys think. Like, do you guys like this sort of build? Do you guys like building like cottage style? I know like Cottage Living is one of the most popular packs that are in the game. I can appreciate it because there's some things that I think wouldn't be worth it in other packs, but in cottage living I can see how you can invest into it, but it also depends on the design style that you have, right? Like I personally love businesses and hobbies because a lot of the stuff is a lot more modern, and so it just depends how you like to build. But yeah, I would say cottage is something that I don't necessarily seek very often. As we step into the living room, I'm using this wallpaper again from Lovestruck, but I changed it into this light pink and I think it looks really cute. I'm using this little sofa from high school years and a little side table that I believe is from City Living. I wanted to give them a fireplace and I decided to pick this one with like blue and beige. And then I put this mirror on top that is from Lovestruck. Oh, I also go back and put some candles everywhere because I feel like candles make sense in a fairy cottage. I put a couple of windows. I believe these are from, I actually don't know, maybe it could be Life and Death or Lovestruck. And then I gave them like a vintage TV from the Basement Treasures kit and a few more frames from the Cozy Kitsch kit and Realm of Magic. The rug that I'm using is also from Life and Death. And then like this was like an awkward space, so I just put more like activities here behind the sofa. It's a tiny house. Well, not tiny, but it's a small house considering, you know, how much space we have outdoors. But I feel like it works, you know, like you don't really need too much in the living room other than maybe just a TV. And then on the other side of the hallway, that's where I decided to make the bedroom. And we have these huge windows, which are so pretty, again, from Realm of Magic, using that wallpaper from Lovestruck and this mirror that is from the Basement Treasures kit. I decided to use a little side table from For Rent and this little dresser that fits in a one tile that is from high school years. I really like this dresser, you guys, because you can just hide it in any little corner. It just fits. Like those, like most of the dressers that we have are really big, and that some of the times like it's really hard to find space for them in a room, especially in like a tiny or a smaller bedroom. And then I decided to give him a fireplace because I also gave him a fireplace in the living room. So I would imagine that maybe sometimes it gets cold in here. And as we go upstairs, this is where we're going to have our activity area. I decided to put this fence that I believe is from Base Game, and again, continuing that wallpaper from downstairs. I'm using a lot of the stuff, as you can see here, it's filtered from the artist studio. With some, I also gave him the woodworking table. I never used that little step ladder with the decorations, but I think it looks good in here because we do have a lot of space. I also gave them these like locked canvases, so I had to go search for the cheat to unlock them. And I put them over on that side of the rail where the stairs were. And yeah, you guys, this is what the house ended up looking like on the outside. I'm honestly obsessed with it. I put a lot of trees, a lot of shrubs out here. This is our little entryway with our little darker light. I didn't want those bright lights in here. I really wanted it to be really cozy, so you can see all the cute stuff that we have here in the entryway. Then we have our little hallway leading us to the kitchen. Really cozy kitchen, again, with those lights, a lot of fruit, a lot of plants. And very dirty walls. And then as we step into the dining room, it gets a lot nicer with a nice rug, this little shelving unit from Cottage Living, and a couple of chairs. And as we step into the living room, we have less lights in here. We have a little fireplace, this cute mirror, a TV from the Basement Treasures kit. It's honestly super cute. And this is the outside. As we step outside from the living room, we have a chicken coop, place you can hang your clothes, a fire pit. I gave them a cauldron because it is, maybe they could be a fairy and they also make, you know, whatever. A couple of restrooms in here, one in the bedroom, an ensuite bathroom, and a guest half bath. This is the bedroom. The colors are here are a little funky. I don't know why I chose those colors specifically. Then we have the artist studio over here on this side, and then obviously we do have the pond on the right hand side, which looks really good as well. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.